This video is presented by Audiobooks Now. They offer a selection of over 320,000 digital audiobooks that can be downloaded and/or streamed. In the description of, and as the pinned comment for this video, is a special link from me, Ryan Holman, to a 30-day free trial of Audiobooks Now, and also to get 50% off of your first audiobook. October 31st, 2024 was the 25th anniversary of Greg Moore's death due to a crash at the 1999 California 500. He showed his immense talent during his relatively brief life. I think a good way to memorialize him is by looking at his first major league race win, the 1997 Milwaukee 200 for the IndyCar series. First, some background. Moore won the 1995 Indy Next Championship with 10 wins out of 12 races for Foresight Racing. For the next year, he got promoted to Foresight's IndyCar team. That season, he finished on the podium 3 times with a best finish of second at Nazareth and finished 9th in the championship. For the first 6 races of 1997, Moore finished second twice. The 7th race was Milwaukee. For it, Moore qualified in 5th place. At the start, Moore got close to Patrick Carpentier, but was quickly challenged by Parker Johnstone. The next lap, Moore moved down in front of Johnstone. The race had its first caution period on the 3rd lap when Michel Jourdain Jr. crashed. When the race restarted on lap 14, Moore was far behind 4th place Carpentier. 5 laps later, he was close to Raul Boesel, who was now 4th. By lap 31, Moore was past Boesel and was battling for second with Mauricio Gugelmin and Carpentier. The following lap, as Carpentier was behind lap drivers Juan Manuel Fangio II and Andre Ribeiro, Moore got past him and drafted behind Gugelmin. In turn 3, Moore nearly lost control. This caused Gugelmin to move away from Moore. However, on lap 33, Gugelmin was slowed by lap driver Paul Jasper being in front of him, and Moore got past him and moved into second position. He then moved away from the drivers behind him. By lap 36, Moore had reached leader Paul Tracy and was challenging him for the position. On lap 41, entering turn 3, Moore got past Tracy for the lead. Soon afterwards, he passed lap driver Max Pappas, who Tracy struggled to get past. Then, on lap 52, the race had its second caution due to Johnstone crashing. Moore pitted during the caution. Besides getting 4 new tires and fuel, his team adjusted the front wing to give Moore more downforce. Tracy beat Moore back to the track. The race restarted on lap 62 with Tracy having a big lead over the rest of the field. By the start of lap 79, Moore had reduced Tracy's lead to 0.745 seconds. Within 2 laps, Moore got even more close to the leader. Moore attempted to pass Tracy as lap 82 became lap 83, but Tracy moved down in front of him in turn 1 on the latter lap. Tracy extended his lead after this. On lap 85, Moore got close to Tracy again. Towards the end of the following lap, Moore got back to the lead and then started to move away from Tracy. 6 laps later, Tracy was close to Moore. However, he soon dropped back. On lap 105, Fangio and Galter Solis crashed, causing another caution time. Moore pitted during this period, but as he exited his stall, Bobby Rahal entered his next to Moore's and they made slight contact, but Moore continued. He dropped to 3rd during this pit stop sequence. When the race restarted on lap 126, Tracy and 2nd place Gugelmin were quite a bit ahead of Moore, who was being challenged by Jimmy Vasser and Michael Andretti, but remained ahead of them. On lap 133, the race had its 3rd caution period when Pappas crashed. Both Tracy and Gugelmin pitted during it. Moore remained on the track and got back the lead. Race restarted on lap 146 and Vasser challenged Moore. Once again, Moore kept the lead. By lap 180, Moore had a 3.1 second lead over Vasser, who was now battling with Michael Andretti for second. Eventually, Andretti got into second.
Jimmy Vasser, the reigning series champion, may be running a fuel conservation mode, and we think that may be the situation for Greg Moore, the race leader. You see him just in front of Michael Andretti, who is on a charge. Let's learn more about Moore's situation. Jan Bikas.
Yes, the crew is looking very nervous. They are radioing to Greg Moore saying you've got to turn down the fuel. They are going to try and make it to the end, but they know that's going to possibly put him in the clutches of Andretti.
If Greg Moore can come through to win, he will become the youngest winner in PPG Kart World Series history. As you see, Neil Mickelwright and the crew doing their sums, talking to their men. Michael Andretti going for his 2nd straight victory and 6th all-time on the Milwaukee Mile.
But this is so frustrating for a driver you've got to turn that fuel mixture down and you're going, why me? He just wants to race. But unfortunately, it has a lot to do with when they stopped and tanked him up.
11 laps to go. Next time under the start-finish stand. There you see how the battle has closed. Clear track right now, but there will be traffic coming up for Greg Moore and Michael Andretti.
Greg's out there trying to drive smoothly.
Meanwhile, this battle is still going on. Paul Tracy, Mauricio Gugelmin for 6th.
10 to go.
Newman Haas pits telling Michael Andretti, 10 to go.
Paul Tracy saw his car wiggle there. He would have had to lift. It got a little loose coming off the 4.
Gugelmin has a run at him down the inside and takes 6th place.
All it took was that getting a little sideways, lifted off there. Big Mo had a run on him, lost a spot.
Al Unser Jr. is out of the race with gearbox problems. Paul Tracy, as you see, giving up all kinds of ground to Mauricio Gugelmin. Tracy, his 3-race winning streak is on the line. It appears at the moment that the Penske 100th victory may have to wait. Back with Michael Andretti. There's Greg Moore just ahead. Andretti drawing closer as the laps continue to run down. There's Moore's crew. Jan Bikas.
The conversations they're having with Greg is really tough for a driver. They say, don't let Michael pass you, but stay in 6th gear because we have to save fuel. And Danny Boy, that's a tough job because Michael should be able to run in 5th.
Andretti draws even closer.
That really hurts him because if he's running that top gear, right when he gets into traffic like here at this, it doesn't pull as much coming off, doesn't have as much RPM. It's a little tougher to pass those slow cars. Look at this, Michael's got a run on him.
7 laps to go. It'll be 6 next time across the stripe.
He really wants to get in front of that car that's just in front of Greg Moore. He wants to put that gap between him and Michael.
Moore going for his first ever victory. Same situation we had a week ago in St. Louis when Paul Tracy was chasing Patrick Carpentier. Now it's Greg Moore being pursued by Michael Andretti. Jan Bikas.
Now they have told him, go ahead and use 5th gear if you have to. So maybe now they're on a more level playing field.
5 laps, they must know then how much fuel they've got in there from the onboard telemetry. Said, hey, we can make it. Go ahead. That's great news for Greg Moore.
36 career wins for Michael Andretti.
Bad news for Michael Andretti, but great for Greg. Sorry to interrupt.
Of course, he can't know that. All he knows, there's traffic ahead of the man he's chasing, Greg Moore.
And traffic plays a big part. You've got a couple of good guys. Look, Michael's going to try around the outside.
Ooh, there's Brian Herta.
But Brian had the outside, and Greg got the advantage.
I was about to say that Herta and Alex Zanardi were going wheel to wheel in the corner just as Moore and Andretti arrived.
These guys have some laps on their tires, so they don't have an advantage one way or the other in terms of one guy having fresh tires.
3 laps to go, and Andretti continues to draw up on Moore. Second-generation racing star Michael Andretti looking for his 2nd victory of the year. There will be 2 to go this time by.
2 laps, Mike. 2 laps.
And they are so calm on that radio from the pits. 2 laps, Michael.
You notice, of course, Michael didn't answer him. He's awful quiet right now. He's got his hands full trying to find a way. Every little bit, trying to make up a little bit on Greg Moore. Force him into a mistake.
Meanwhile, Moore, just 22 years old, looking for his first career win. Final lap, Moore leads Andretti. 2 corners remain for Michael to try to close up on Moore. Only 22 starts in Moore's resume. Could this be the day for Greg Moore and the Players team from Canada? I don't think Michael has enough time. Moore thinks he hasn't won. With his fist in the air, he takes the checkered flag and resets the record as youngest winner of a PPG Kart World Series event. Mario Andretti on the wall can only get on the radio and say, nice try.
There's pandemonium down here. Greg Moore, you've just realized a dream.
Yeah, it's about time. You know, we've been real close a few times, but I'm just so happy. I mean, everyone on my team did a great job, and and we had about probably a cup full of fuel left there. You know, Steve Chalice and Alex Turman's my two engineers. They did just a great job. I'm just so happy.
The youngest now winner in this type of racing in kart history. The feeling that you have, tell me about those last few laps, because I know you knew that Michael Andretti in that black and white number 6 was right there.
Yeah, I knew Mikey was back there, but I knew I was a little bit faster than him. It was just a question of that slower traffic in front, but we got through it okay, and it's our first win, and I'm so happy.
Were you able, did you have to conserve fuel, and when did they tell you you were going to be okay? How late to go?
About 12 laps to go, they told me I was okay, and I was actually lifting down from about pitch straight down to the turn 1, and it just paid off. I mean, we did a great job all weekend.
In traffic all day long, any close calls for you, any major concerns?
There was a couple of close calls, but, you know, we got it all, and I'm just so pleased. All my guys, they deserve this.
All of Canada, all of North America saluting you right now, the youngest ever. Kick off the celebration, pal.
Thanks a lot, bud.
Jan?
Moore led a race-high 104 of 200 laps on his way to winning his first of 5 IndyCar races. It was a great triumph that was a good example of Moore's talent.